These are 7 home EV chargers everyone ignores because of their price tag, and every single one of them passes the exact same safety certification as chargers costing twice as much. By the end of this video, you'll know which ones and why the word cheap might be the least useful piece of information printed on the box. If you've owned your EV for a while, you already figured out that the car itself wasn't the last big purchase. It was only the first one. The charger comes next, and that's where this video lives. Here's the fact that makes this whole video possible. Home EV chargers sold in the United States and Canada answer to a safety standard called UL 2594, testing for fire hazards, electric shock risk, ground fault protection, and mechanical durability under extreme temperature swings. That standard doesn't have a budget version and a premium version. It's pass or fail, full stop. A $300 charger carrying that mark has been tested against the identical benchmark as an $800 charger carrying the same mark, and the lab running those tests never asks what the box costs. So when a premium brand hints that their price buys you extra safety, that claim doesn't hold up. What the price often buys instead is software and branding. One more thing before the countdown starts. Plenty of buying guides online monetize through affiliate links, so somebody, somewhere profits more when you pick the expensive one. And the federal tax credit that used to cover 30% of a home charger's installation cost, up to $1,000, expired on June 30th, 2026, years earlier than originally planned. If you see an article urging you to claim that 30% federal credit, check the date, because as of today, it's gone at the federal level. Now, the 7. Number 7. The Electron Portable Level 2 runs about $240, the cheapest reliable Level 2 charger in this research. It delivers 32 amps, carries a full UL listing, and skips the Wi-Fi and app entirely, but it still clears the identical safety bar as everything else on this list. Number 6. Booj RV sits just above that, around $280, also delivering 32 amps. Landing in the same budget tier as the Electron tells you this isn't a one-brand fluke. An entire cluster of chargers under $300 keeps showing up recommended in hands-on testing roundups. Number 5. The Electron VBox 48A lands between $300 and $360 and jumps to the maximum 48 amp charging speed. With a weatherproof NEMA 4 enclosure, a 24-foot cable, and a built-in screen showing status and temperature in real time. There's no Wi-Fi or app, and one report flagged build quality concerns at the lowest end of its price range, so skip this one if smart features matter, but for raw speed per dollar, it's hard to beat. Number 4. The Grizzly Classic, built by a company called United Chargers, founded in 2019 by CEO Gleb Nikiforov out of a facility in Richmond Hill, Ontario. It currently runs between $300 and $349, down from its 2020 launch price of $399. The company credits that price to stripping out components that look nice but don't improve function, not to cutting corners, and it sets amperage through physical DIP switches instead of an app, which some reviewers actually call a safety advantage since a switch can't get bumped by accident. It's UL and CUL certified, and Inside EVs ran an independent, clearly unsponsored review of it back in 2021. Number 3. The Emporia Energy Smart Charger, at $429, delivers the full 48 amps with Wi-Fi, a 24-foot cable, and a weatherproof enclosure, and scored 99 out of 100 in one professional Inside EVs test, the highest independently reported score in this entire research, cheap or expensive. Number 2. Wallbox's Pulsar Plus, also $429, offers the same Wi-Fi scheduling and energy monitoring most people actually want from a smart charger. It's a near dead heat with the Emporia on price, so picking between them comes down to app preference more than any real safety gap. Number 1. IYLO, a name almost nobody's heard of. When Energy Sage teamed up with EV expert Tom Maloney to score chargers for 2026, 5 brands stood out: Tesla, ChargePoint, Grizzly, Emporia, and IYLO. A brand you've probably never encountered landed a spot next to Tesla and ChargePoint through independent testing, not marketing. Exact pricing didn't turn up in this research, so none gets invented here. But the placement alone says this market runs deeper than the household names suggest. Now, here's the number worth comparing. ChargePoint's Home Flex, one of the most recommended premium chargers on the market, costs $549 to $649 and scored 86 out of 100 on that same charger rater system. Emporia hit 99 out of 100 at $429. The most expensive charger in this whole comparison scored lower than a competitor priced up to $200 below it. ChargePoint does bring real strengths, a mature app, and its own charging network, and the company itself describes its business as software and services more than hardware, which is a legitimate reason some of that price exists. But part of what you're paying for isn't sitting in your garage, it's the ecosystem around it. The pattern across all 7 chargers is the same. None of them cut the corner that actually matters, the UL2594 certification. They cut aesthetic polish, app budgets, and marketing spend instead. Speed and safety for the least money points toward the Lectron Portable, BougeRV, or Lectron V Box. Smart features without premium pricing points toward Emporia or Wallbox. A rugged, transparent build points toward Grizzly, and betting outside the household names points toward Iwaillo. None of this changes the tax situation. That federal 30% credit expired this past June, and losing it knocks out one of the main arguments for spending more, so the price gap between cheap and premium now comes entirely out of your own pocket. So here's where that leaves things. 7 chargers, all UL2594 certified, all built to the same safety floor as their pricier competitors, priced anywhere from $240 to $429. The most expensive named charger here, running up to $649, scored lower on independent testing than a $429 competitor. And that's not a coincidence. The safety certification never scales with price. It's a fixed bar, and every charger on this list cleared it. The expensive chargers aren't lying about what they offer, and neither are the cheap ones. They're just not telling you how good they already are. If you own an EV, the charger is just the first hidden cost. Tires wear faster on these cars, and dealership maintenance packages push services your EV doesn't even need. That's the next video on this channel. Subscribe if you want the full breakdown before you spend another $1 on this car.